All right, road to Sheffield, day number 3. Today we got in a nice little push day, hypertrophy for the chest, triceps, front delts. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the top off, show how we're looking. I actually can't see. I may have not really thought this through because I can't see what I'm looking at, but I can kind of see through a reflection. But a little side tricep. I am not a bodybuilder, so I mean these poses are not going to be looking good. Most muscular, right? Let's see. Let's check shoulders, side delts. Obviously, I got a little fluff going on, but that's cool. I'm alright with that. It's not something I'm worried about just getting stronger. I've been recomping as of lately, and I think I've been doing good. So show from the front because it was a push day. Obviously, I'm not pumped or anything. Got back home, got a good meal in, got some protein, got some carbs, so we're looking good. But today's subject that I wanted to talk about, we're going to talk about beginners in fitness and why I think the majority of them struggle to hit their fitness goals. And I think it really comes down to one thing for most people is, you see all this stuff, you see these crazy, people who, like me, training every day, great. I make sure my recovery is great with my sleep and stuff. I'm eating good nutrition, right? I'm going hard every set. And you look at that as someone who's, sedentary, right? You've never worked out in your life. You've never tried the fitness thing. You don't know much about it. And you say, okay, I'm just going to go on and I'm going to immediately train like this guy. And for some people, they can make it work. And that's great. For those people that can make it work, it's awesome. It's an awesome way to look at it, right? But for most people, right, you've never done it, right? If you immediately go into doing it every day, into working at it every day, it's only going to take so long before it's like, this really sucks. I don't want to do it. So what realistically most people should do, right? You've never worked out before, okay? You say, okay, I'm going to get a gym membership. Maybe I work out once, twice, 3 times a week. That's great. That's huge improvement from being sedentary. You're making leaps and bounds in your fitness progress, right? Maybe you just clean up the diet like just a tiny bit, right? That's going to be great, And then if your weight starts to subside for a week or two, you clean up the diet a little more. You're going to be able to do that sustainably for a long period of time, and you're not going to hate it every day because it's just such small, subtle changes. They ultimately become part of your routine over time, right? And I think this is where I've seen the most success from training people for sure, is like, I talk to them and I say, hey, let's be realistic with the start here. We'll take a day out of the week, you train that day. We'll take 2 days, 3 days out of the week, maybe, right? You train, you get your good stuff going, you get your blood going, you start to enjoy the training, right? But it's not like it's everyday thing that's kind of nagging at you in the back of your mind, right? You only have to do it a couple times a week, and you'll make great progress. As a beginner in the gym, you'll make insane progress. Obviously, if you had everything dialed in, your nutrition, your fitness, your recovery, you're not feeling stressed in life, whatever, then you'll make the best progress. But for most people, it's like you're never gonna start out that way, right? That's something that people who have been training in fitness for, like me, 4 or 5 years struggle to do, even like to this day, right? I don't have everything perfect, and I'm never going to. No one really does have everything perfect. If you're really trying to do that and you got other responsibilities going on, you got a job, right? You got kids that you got to take care of, right? You have stuff that you have to do. Like, it's setting yourself up for failure before you even actually start, right? If you can be realistic with your expectations starting in the fitness industry, starting your fitness goals, you will go so much further than everyone who's not realistic. And, even if they do it for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and get more progress in that time, right? What ultimately matters is staying consistent with it over months, over years. Because what happens to most people, right? They get on this fitness thing, this fitness binge, I guess, and they do a couple months, they do a couple weeks, whatever, however long they do it for, and then they give up because what they were trying to do is just too much for them to realistically manage. And they go back to square one eventually, just being sedentary, they gain all their weight back, or they lose their muscle, and ultimately you'd be so much better off, even if you worked out once a week, cleaned up your diet just a tiny bit, in months, years worth of time getting that work done, you're so much better off than the person who gave up because they just came into it with expectations that were never going to actually pan out for them, right? Come in, have realistic expectations, right? You can watch, fitness content or research fitness if you want, but personally, as a coach, I think if you're someone who's busy, if you're someone who struggles and you have the money to go ahead and do it, getting a coach is a great idea, right? You're going to make sure that what you're doing is good, right? Your fitness plan is going to be good. Your nutrition is going to be good. Your recovery is going to be good. You're getting good advice. Plus, you have a little bit of obligation, I guess. That's not really the word I'm looking for, right? But you have that trainer that, now if you're, struggling with stuff, you're kind of letting someone else down as well as yourself, which for a lot of people can be a mental thing that really helps them. On that same, path, on the same idea, you can have like family members or friends or whatever that you go to the gym with or that are really looking out to see you succeed. And it's like, if you don't go to the gym, it's like, you feel like you're letting those people down. That can be great for people, right? Having a support system for a lot of people in their fitness industry is huge, right? So realistic expectations, having some sort of support system if you can. If you have the money, hire a coach. It's not necessary, but I'm telling you, it's, it takes way less time when you have a coach because they manage most of the stuff for you and all you really have to do is show up and do the thing, right? And it becomes a lot easier. I do think it is worth the money, whatever coach you hire. It doesn't matter, all coaches that are certified, I would go with a certified coach for sure. But all coaches that are certified, all coaches that work at a gym are reasonably knowledgeable enough that it's going to be way better for you. I think, there's certain coaches, including myself, that have the best coaching, but, it doesn't matter. It's like whatever coach you go with, it's going to be better than, you in your first day in the gym not really knowing what you're doing. So I would hire a coach. If I was a beginner and I had the money for it, I would absolutely do that. But it's, fitness doesn't have to be this extreme thing. And, in fact, a lot of the extreme stuff, like, the ice baths and waking up early and like waking up at 3 a.m. or whatever, some of these people with the mindset thing do, or, going to the gym every day. Some of it, either doesn't give you any actual benefit on your health or physique or strength or whatever your goals are. And some of it, like ice baths, have been shown in recent studies. Now, I would say it's a little too early to say this is definite, but it's been shown to reduce muscle growth, right? So it's even a negative. You don't get anything special for going this extreme extra mile in fitness compared to you might if you did that, at your job or whatever. But in fitness, it's just not how it goes. Going in and with realistic expectations and doing what you realistically can is going to net you way more progress than anything else. That is ultimately the way to start. If I was in fitness, that's what I would do. And then also say for beginners, a lot of them struggle with like going to the gym for the first time, and they think it's scary and they're nervous, and I get it, right? I was nervous my first time in the gym. I understand, but especially if you have a coach, but even if you don't, right? You go to the gym. I'm telling you, the gym is the most inspirational, like, helpful community that I've ever been a part of, right? People in the gym genuinely want to see you do well, right? If you go to the gym, you could literally go up and ask people for advice and they'd be happy to tell you stuff, right? A lot of these guys, man, like me, who are in the gym all the time, it's like, I live for this stuff, right? I would love to like talk your ear off about the fitness stuff, right? Like I'm doing on camera. It is, you're going to have to take it from me, and I understand that you still might be nervous, but it is the most welcoming, greatest community to be a part of. And it's just something where it's like, you just got to go, and you just got to try in the fitness community. I promise you, like, all the stuff that you see that's negative about the fitness community, if anything, online, like, all of it, or most of it at least, the vast majority, is like scripted, fake content just to get views. That will be a topic for another day. I'll talk about, people who are fake in the fitness industry. It really sucks that there are the people that do that. They're the vast minority of people by a huge margin, but their videos are so controversial, they get so much engagement that they get a lot of views, and so they tend to be some big voices in the space, which is really a shame. But in reality, like any commercial gym you go to, any local gym you go to, like especially local gyms, those communities are incredible. But they're just so inspirational and great places to be, honestly. Like, the gym is one of the places where you'll meet some of like the nicest, coolest people you've ever met in your life. It can be like even a social thing for a lot of people, just going to the gym, getting their workout in, talking to people at the gym, and it's like, you met your new best friend at the gym. I would definitely, you shouldn't be nervous. No one in the gym really has any like judgment towards beginners. If anything, for me, I'm like, when I see a beginner in the gym, I'm like, that's awesome. I love seeing this person in the gym, right? It's a great welcoming environment. And I think for any beginner who's thinking about, getting into fitness, making that leap and getting in, it's the hardest step. It's the hardest step, but it's the most important. And once you're in the fitness space, you've gone to the gym, you've set some realistic expectations, you're doing your stuff. It will change how you feel, like physically, and it'll change how you look at yourself. It'll give you a little more confidence for a lot of people. For a lot of people, it can be a mental thing of like, a mental break from work and stuff. You go to the gym, you get to enjoy your time there, not think about work and what you got going on. It can be a mental, feeling of accomplishment after the gym that's great for a lot of people. If you're thinking about getting into fitness, definitely 100% take the leap. I'm telling you, it'll be one of the best decisions you've made in your entire life. Do it. Just do it. And on that, that's going to be the end for episode 3. Tomorrow, I have a deadlift session. I'm going to actually record it this time. But I'm very excited about my deadlift sessions. My deadlifts are my best lift. They're my favorite lift. So I'm going to do something a little different than I've done with my powerlifting videos in the past compared to these hypertrophy style where I'm kind of posing and just talking to the camera. I'm going to try formatting it, with myself before the lift, talking about, feelings, anticipations, whatever, going into the lift, and then record the lift, and then I'll have some comments after. So I'm very excited about that session tomorrow. Genuinely, I really enjoy making these videos. I got my 1 subscriber. You're the GOAT. I doubt you're going to watch this far in the video, but you're the best. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, for episode 4 of Road to Sheffield. Deadlifts, baby. Come on.